And joining us now to discuss the latest with the security situation and the political situation here in Israel is member of Knesset for the Likud party, Golan. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, I want to address the security situation in Israel. I mean, it seems as though almost every day we're hearing of another attempted terrorist attack against Israelis. What does the government need to do to put an end to this?
I think it's an excellent question because whenever someone from the opposition comes and talk about the security situation that is happening now, people think he only say that because he's in the opposition. It's not true. We are having a very, very crucial, dangerous time now in Israel. And it is only because of one reason. There is no restriction towards the terrorism. And when they know that the actual Prime Minister of Israel is not Naftali Bennett, but is Mansour Abbas, when they know that he can take anything that he wants and ask for anything that he wishes, and he basically holds Naftali Bennett by the throat, demanding him whatever he wants, or else there's no government, then terrorism can rise up. It rises its ugly head up. And it's a very dangerous time because no matter what, really, and you know, it's not even right-wing or left, you know, politically wise. It's really a matter of security. And when Defense Force of Israel know that they're tying their hands behind their backs because when 400, I call them terrorists, 400 terrorists, Arab terrorists on the Temple Mount throw Molotov cocktails and stones and bottles and rocks and everything that you can think of. And at nighttime, Mansour Abbas goes into Naftali Bennett's office and demands him to release them all with no investigation, no house arrest, no nothing. It says everything.
So what would the Likud do differently? I mean, last year we ended up in a conflict with Gaza. This week marks 1 year to Operation Guardian of the Walls. I mean, so what would the Likud do differently?
Okay, so first of all, no one claims that we were perfect. You know, Israel is a country that's surrounded by enemies who wishes to destroy her, and nothing was ever perfect. But, and it's a huge but, we never let anyone, definitely not the Muslim Brotherhood, to decide for us what is right and what is wrong. And yes, 2015 we had a bit of stabbing, and it was horrible. But the majority of the last decade, we had security. Israel knew that she's a huge, you know, empire around the world, even though it's small and, you know, surrounded by huge other empires. But everyone knew that Netanyahu, as a prime minister, will never jeopardize the state of Israel, will never jeopardize her citizens, and definitely not her soldiers. And the problem is that when someone comes into politics and knows he has nothing to lose after, then everything is okay.
Now, I want to move on and discuss another issue that's also made headlines this week, which is the nation-state law. Right, there are members of the coalition, Gantz, Lieberman, who want to amend this basic law. The Likud is, of course, opposed, and so is Yamina. So is this going to cause another obstacle for the coalition? Will this be the straw that breaks the coalition's back?
First of all, I think that the days of this coalition are really numbered. It's only a matter of time. I don't think they will survive long. But regarding to this law, and it is very important to say it, look, right now, today, in this coalition, in this government, if we would offer to establish the state of Israel, it would have never passed in this coalition and in this government. You know how absurd that is? That is the government that we're dealing with. So the only thing that this law says is that the state nation of Israel is, you know, is ours, belongs to the Jewish state. There's nothing to argue about it, no discussion about it. And I want to clarify it. There's no a second-class citizen here. The Druze brothers and sisters that we have will always stay our brothers and sisters. And this law says nothing beside to keep the Jewish state ours. That's it. This is something that we have to promise to ourselves in order to keep the Jewish majority in this country and to protect it from enemies that wish that we were in the sea right now looking for, you know, sharks that wants to eat us.
Now, as you just said that the coalition's days are numbered, that's how you feel, and yet the coalition has so far been able to survive everything that's been thrown at it. You know, the Likud and the opposition have vowed to bring down this government. Can it be done?
It will be done. I can guarantee it will be done. Look, I want to explain something that the majority of the public outside doesn't know, how it really works inside of this government. When we were in charge, we knew every week what laws are about to be submitted, what is the day is going to look like. They know nothing. Everything is chaos there. And they're having a checkbook and chasing after everyone that looks a little bit bitter. If someone is upset and he wants to break the government, what do you want? We will write a check. This is the way it goes, and it can go on so far. It can prolong so much. But you know what? I'm not mad. The majority of the right-wing camp in Israel are mad because Naftali Bennett and Ayelet Shaked and the rest of them claim to be right-wing. I don't think they're right-wing. They were never right-wing. The problem is different. The problem is that they stole votes from right-wing people that were really believed, that they care about the state of Israel. But I'm telling you, Naftali Bennett, after we will destroy this government, will no longer exist in the Israeli politics. Neither is Ayelet Shaked or Gideon Sa'ar, and I'm not even sure that Ra'am will. But what will be is a real right-wing government that will be full-on and will guarantee to protect the state of Israel.
So we've seen in the polls that the Likud under the leadership of Benjamin Netanyahu is growing stronger, but still not enough to form a new government, a new right-wing government. If this government falls, is Israel simply going to go into yet another cycle of endless elections and perhaps even end up with a similar outcome?
I'm doing tours all over Israel, from south to the north. I'm meeting people day and night, and I can feel the people outside just wanting to go to vote again. We had a problem last elections. People didn't believe Naftali Bennett will do what he did. No one believed that Naftali Bennett would cheat like that. So I truly believe that this time around there will be enough right-wing votes to have the majority that we need to finally do everything that the majority of the people in Israel are dreaming about.
All right, Mai Golan, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.